I'm the proud owner of a BMW S1000RR 2012, and I enjoy riding it at the track a few times a year. I fell in love with the track back in 2013 when I took a 2-day course with California Superbike School. That was my first time on the track and first time on the S1000. I fell in love. Alright, so since that first experience, I've ridden a total of 46 days at the track. I've got another 6 days planned already this year. I may go more, but I haven't booked it yet. Over the years, my riding skills gotten better to the point I've had to change out my forks and a couple other things. But my times are to the point I'm at the bottom end of the fastest group or at the very top of the second fastest group. It depends on what track and things like that. But I want to get faster, so I've decided it's time for me to actually start analyzing data and see what I need to change. So I've already got a Starlane R GPS lap timer. It does great. When I compare the times to the track, the transponder times at the track, I'm usually within 100th of a second or so. It's great. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the notes below. But after some research, I've found that the GPS supports external data acquisition units, and they're actually produced by Starline as well. And found two. They give me information such as RPM, gear, water temperature, various other things, braking, especially braking acceleration. And I want to use those to make improvements to my riding. What I haven't found, though, is information or experience from anyone with these devices. So even finding somewhere that sells the device at a reasonable price has proven much more difficult than I thought. So I've been able to find one. I found a place in Germany, so I'll put a link to them because I've had a good experience purchasing with them. I did find one last year on eBay, but as I don't have experience and can't find anything, I didn't want to take that risk. So one thing about these, there are two devices, a WID-B and a WID-C. I bought the WID-B, but the WID-C, the difference is that the WID-C supports 3 analog channels where you can record things such as the length of or how far the fork is extended, or maybe the position of the rear of the bike. I don't know. I don't need any of that. So if I decide I do in the future, I can always, maybe I'll wreck the bike and need to buy a new one, or I'll buy a new bike. We'll see. So anyway, let me go find my box and we'll go from there. So everyone loves a good unboxing, so I'll start there. So I have the Starlane box. As you can see, it's not very big. Nothing super special on it. This one is for the BMW S1000RR. I have a 2012, so this model, the 2009, should be fine. All right. Here we have a plastic bag. We seem to have the connector, so I'm guessing that's going to plug into the back of the bike somewhere. Not sure where yet. And we've got some Velcro to attach it. I likely will be using a zip tie as well. As you can see, this thing's not very big. I mean, I've got big hands, but still. So yeah, looks like it's got a 4-pin connector. It'll connect there. And let's see, I might have to start over. Oh, 4-pin connector, an LED. You can see it's really sealed in there nicely. Actually, that's squishier than I would. No, that's not squishy. A button. Don't know what the button's for. So yeah, got that. And a single piece of paper, Italian and English. So apparently need to make sure it's not going to get above 70 Celsius. It can be directly connected. There's extension cables you can get, but I don't have those. So that's the connector on the bike. So we'll be connecting to that. Oh, and it talks about the various types of channels that can do. Engine map will be interested in because I've flashed the firmware on my bike, and it would be nice to record which map I was using. The throttle position, definitely want that. Gear, wheel speed, RPM. I'm not sure about traction control, whether it looks like intervention. That'll be interesting to see if it ever kicks in. ABS, since I flashed my ECU, who knows what that's going to do. And air temperature, that'll be nice just to know, how cold was the day. Alrighty, that's that for the unboxing. I'm down in my garage with my S1000RR. I want to give you guys a quick overview of it. There's nothing special really. It's a 2012. I'll go ahead and shoot a video with my mobile to show you a couple of the parts that I've upgraded, and then we'll get into taking this apart. Alright, where's my app? $130. So this is the BMW. I use a Burzig stand, so I have a single stand, don't use front and rear wheel mounts. I can at the track, I've got them, but I don't use them. On the front, as you see, no real stickers. The only one is CC Racing, where I frequently get some of my work done. On the back side, these are new fairings this year, as I wrecked a few different times last year, and the old fairings were pretty bad. Exhaust I've swapped out with an RP exhaust. Here in Europe where I'm living, the dB range, or the dB limit at many of the tracks, is 100 decibels. So I actually always have to have the dB killer in this exhaust. I took it out so that I could get rid of the catalytic converter, and then I flashed the ECU, and of course the bike got louder. Rear mounts, I've got Vortex rear sets. Use GE Racing for engine protection. I do not use engine protection, as if for both good and bad things, and yeah, I just don't want to mess up my engine. In the rear, I have swapped out for an Öhlins TTX shock. That's new this year. It gives it a little bit better feeling, but in all honesty, I haven't really set it up too much yet. New chain this year. And then on the front, I also have Öhlins shocks. These came from after a wreck 3 years ago where I bent both of my forks, thanks due to the steering dampener, so I swapped that out with an Öhlins steering dampener. But the steering dampener, the original, I had a very simple low side, and then the bike slid, and at the very end it flipped over. And when it flipped over like that, the steering dampener caused the front wheel to catch, and that was several thousand in damage. Anyway, today, what we're interested in, there we go. Today, what we're interested in is the Corzo GPS, and then of course the data acquisition unit, which I've got down here on the floor. So we'll get that out and install it. Unfortunately, and I was afraid of this, battery's dead. So my first thing will be take the bike apart and to charge the battery. So I'll go ahead and leave the film running so you can watch me as I take it apart. and as these are new fairings, I haven't actually taken this bike apart. I've only had it at the track once since the new fairings, so this will be an experience for me. Here's blue, so here. If you can see, I keep a little nylon washer at the end of each of these. I do that because the vibrations of the track, if these are too tight, it causes the fairings to crack. These are actually already cracking. Meh. Oh, this works. Must be out. This is why. Don't know if you can see that broken nail. Woohoo! Okay, first that's okay, I have it ready. No battery. Great. Batterie tief entladen. Aufladen starten. Okay drücken. Also, that means the battery is pretty well dead, unfortunately. That's not good. 4.7 volts. I probably will need a new battery before I go to the track next weekend. I'll let this thing go for a bit. In the meantime, let's look at putting the data acquisition on. Yeah, that's going to take a while. So, we've got a cable. Cable has potential for 8 pins, but there's only 4 in there. And if I look at this connector here, so let me show you the connectors. Where's my phone so I can let's see. Stabilize, yes. Flashlight on. Back. Okay. What I've got here, I have a thing. It's got a potential for 8 pins on the inside. Let me come outside in the sun. Brighter. There we go. So, looks like it could be 8 pins, but only 4 pins are there. And looking here, that looks like it would be interesting because this one, I don't know what that's for. But that one doesn't look like it will match. Let me take this one off. Can I do it with one hand? Probably not. Try. So I need a screwdriver. On the side of there is a pin thing, and I need to lift that up. Yeah, I can't show both at the same time. So on the open end here, I'm gonna stick this in. And of course the screwdriver's too big. What else do I have in my toolbox? Ooh, on the other end I have a smaller one. Woohoo! Okay, let's get that in there. Perfect. And I can pull on it. So this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And I'm lifting and pulling just enough so that that little catch on the inside of that square comes loose, but not so much that I completely break that tab off. I'm gonna lift and then twist just a tiny bit. Now let's check the other side. Same thing. Get in there, lift. Twist just a little bit to see if I can get it to come loose. And that's not doing diddly squat. I'm not sure why. Yes, it is. All right. So with a little effort, and again, not lifting those tabs up to break them, just enough to unhook that little hook, I was able to wiggle the cap off. And the cap is, you can't really see it stuck in here. There's the cap. And now what have I got? That looks very promising. That looks like it should fit. Okay. Now, does there appear to be an upside and a downside? Come on, focus, you thing. Not put the screwdriver next to all of the open electronics because I'm charging the battery. Oh, flashlight turned off. Well, that's annoying. Flashlight should be on. There. No wonder I can't see. So that looks very promising. And I cannot see if there's an upside or a downside. There are numbers. Now, where's my cable? Didn't put it there. Oh, of course, what did I do with my cable? Seriously? Seriously? Come on. Right where I left it. Right here. Alright, again on this. So if you look on the inside, one of the top one has like a single notch, the bottom one has this kind of stair-steppy notch thing. Does that match? Kinda. Is there a pin one? Yeah. Let's just put it on and see what happens. Ah, here's the thing. Notice at the bottom, it has these square corners, and at the top, there is one rounded corner. So you got square, square, but these two top ones are actually rounded. That's how it fits in. Push it in. It's not clicking as I would like to hear, but what I'm going to do is pick up my screwdriver and see if I can gently press those two side tabs into place. I'm kind of squeezing here. Gently try and get them to ensure that they have caught. And they have caught in there. That one's caught. And that one's caught. Sweet. Now the question is, what do I want to do with this? Because I personally dislike, I'll show this video, I know that I'm at the track. I know that I have a lot of vibration at the track. And so having this thing wiggle like that really bothers me. So I'm going to look into, seriously? He used one of my removable? I see that someone used one of my removable things. That zip tie I can pull back off. I'm going to cut this apart and find a way to mount this. I'm going to put a zip tie around this part of it onto the bike somewhere. Just likely right in this area. Because I want to make sure that this is held firmly and that it doesn't vibrate. If it was just that connector by itself, it'd vibrate a bit. But now with this extra on here, there's a greater risk of vibration. So let me cut this off, take that off, and see if I can reroute these things. Oh, my battery went from 4.7 volts now to 4.4 volts. Not good. All right. Let's cut this off. took that. There we go, that should hold that. I put 2 around the two zip ties around just the plug. I did that because that gives better mechanical force, and now it's hardly wiggling at all. If it was just 1, it could technically flap, but with 2, it helps and there we go. Snug, but not too tight. Let's cut it from this side. See if I can cut that better so I don't cut myself on the zip tie in the future. I hate it when people cut zip ties and they leave a little bit hanging out, and then of course they cut it at an angle which makes it really sharp, which ends up cutting me later. So I learned from my dad, make sure to cut them flush. Oh, and that's why I use some dikes like this that have a flat side to them. Then I can get them really flush with the end of the zip tie, and I have no worries about cutting myself on in the future. All right, next, ooh, still have this reusable, can we use that? All right, take my thingy here. No, it's too short. Too short, okay, I'll use 2 of these. Now, knowing the way things work, the video and show what I'm thinking here. Alright, so what I'm thinking is that if I were to try and put this on up here, which would be a great place for it, with time, the vibration is going to cause it to slide down. I have 2 choices. Either I can put tape around it, have some friction. If I zip tight enough, actually it should be okay up there. I'm going to put 2 zip ties around, 1 here and 1 further up there. Between the 2 of them, that should work. I'll go ahead and do that.
Wow. Full talk.
Hallo.
Noch mal an 3 Motorräder.
Ja, ich hat seit ein paar Jahren 3 Motorräder, seit 3, 4 Jahre? Nee, 3 Jahre. That thing shouldn't go anywhere now. neighbors came by, chatted for a bit. So if I put the cable on, let me quickly take a photo. This is what I've got so far. I'll cut these off. And next is figure out how to get this on. There are 4 pins in there, if you can see them. And down here, there are also some pins. I'll get the pins aligned and screw this in. Looks like there are 4 to the bottom, which, there we go. Snug, but not too tight. I am making the assumption that running this over here will be okay. Not sure why this is not grabbing on. I think there was something in the past, but this is not an important bit, so I'm not going to worry about it vibrating. Actually, I don't like it vibrating. This is just me. Let's see if I can just get a... What's in there? Oh, fuse box. Or of sorts. Do I have some electrical tape? No electrical tape. But I do have some nylon string. I can just wrap some string in and around and just tie it gently. That'll work. Alright, I'm back now. I have a battery installed. The other one was dead and wasn't charging, so I had to run off and get another one, and the GoPro died. So let me show real quick. Stop. Front. There we go. So this is the final work. I have 2 zip ties here, which holds it really securely. I mean, you can move a tiny bit, but I don't expect it to go anywhere. I have my string, keeping that flap down. The whole thing just doesn't vibrate too much. I went ahead and ran the cable underneath, just so it doesn't vibrate too much. Over here, 2 zip ties to hold this in place. And then I have the single zip tie for the rest of these cables. So I'm ready now to try and connect it. Alright, so if I come up here and look at the... I'm going to go on the other side of the mic, because I can. So if I look at this, I've got it turned on, let me hit the blue button. So that's the Mazzano. It's got the date, probably no satellites within the garage, but let's go to menu. Tracks. Probably under options, I don't know for sure. Bluetooth, let's try that. Add WID, that's actually what I want to do, so enter. Press a button on WID you want to connect to set it to discoverable. Alright, so down here is a button, but before that I actually need to turn the bike on. Before that, I need to turn the bike on. There we go. Oh, looks like I need to clear my thing. I don't take this to the normal shop. I do a lot myself. Okay, here we go. So now the blinky button. I'm going to push. I'm going to turn the flashlight on. There's a button right here. So I'm going to push it. Don't know if that helped at all. Pushed it, searching. For those who are wondering, I have a zip tie because I have wrecked and this came off and I had to WID discovered. Okay, let's go back. I have a zip tie because I wrecked a couple years ago and this came flying off and of course damaged the screen, quit working. Starlane, I was able to send it back to him and get just the screen replaced, which was awesome, saved a lot of money. But so now I just keep the zip tie on to make sure it's flat. Alright, let's try this again. Add WID. Press the button on the WID you want to connect. Press the button again. It's solid red. Okay. Please wait. This is not looking. Discovered. This is why I'm making a video, because if anyone else has this issue, they now see that someone else did too. So what I'm going to do is hit Add WID, hit OK, and back there I'm going to hold the button. Let's see if that makes any difference. Not so far. Alright, that didn't work. I think I shall look it up in the documentation. Turn the bike off. I don't need it right now. Stop. Google Drive. Where are you? I have the manual saved in Google Drive so that I can get it if I ever need it. Such a good 3 months. There we go. Connections, pairing with modules. It's mobile. Select menu Bluetooth. I did. Press once the button on the WID module between a pair. 1, 0. Add module. Wait for the progress bar to complete. Oh. That's it. There's nothing special. Let me give it a go. Bike on. It's blinking back there. Push the button once. Add. Okay. No WID discovered. This might take a while. Anyways. Why is that? I wonder if I get this look like ice. It's weird. Lighting. Decent lighting. Oh, second. Alright, oh, this one's on one left to top. This is trigger. Good first. I'm gonna try turning this off. Bike off. Bike on. GPS on. Oh yeah, I need to update the firmware on this thing. Maybe that'll help. Firmware 3.26 currently. Menu. Bluetooth. Push the button. Enter to add. Okay. Interesting, the light's not on at all. Let's try that. The light's solid this time. It's not blinking. I don't know if that makes a difference. Earlier it was blinking. Solid this time. Stayed solid. It found it. WID-B, Starlane, enter. Waiting. So let me. All right. So it found it this time. So let's go to Manage Devices, enter. It shows up as the WID-B Starline. Very nice. Back. Back. Mode. Mid. For the fun of it, let's start the bike. Neutral. I don't know. I'm going to have to play with it some more, but in any case, they're talking to each other, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. I'll put my bike back together for now. I'll have to see at the track when I'm there this weekend, next weekend, to see if it works. Thank y'all. Actually, it is working. Look at that. It's measuring my water temperature, and it's matching what the bike says up there. Sweet. So I need to change the time of the bike. It is not 16 minutes past midnight. 44. Awesome. It's working.